Good day. God bless you. Welcome back, guys. My name is Zach, and this is episode 96 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. First Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveteth after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. So, guys, going along with the theme, health, wealth, and happiness. What about that wealth? What about that money? What are you going to serve in your life? And the quote of the day is, I'm not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions. And guys, that reminds me of another one. We're not, we can't control the future, especially, we can't control our own future. But we can control our habits, and our habits will determine our future, So it's like, okay, what I do today, that bucket of ice cream I ate today, I didn't eat it today, but it is going to affect my tomorrow, and that's the negative side. But let's stay positive, So I did go to the gym twice today, and that habit is going to form my future. So, guys, where was I at? This is 24. Okay, I'm on day one. I'm back on the fast, so I'm 24 hours into my fast. I gotta look at my notes here. Where did I leave off? I didn't make an episode yesterday, guys. This is live, and it's just so much easier to pre-record the videos and then edit them, and then get them uploaded and on YouTube. Just takes so much longer, which I don't mind doing on my days off, because then it's just hours of messing around, something to do. It's fun, and it keeps me from overeating. But speaking of overeating, that's what I want to talk about. So last time we talked, I was on that's right, I was 96 hours in to my fast, and I was going to continue fasting. This is a few days back. I've already talked about this, but I wasn't prepared to eat, and I was trying to fast on my first day off of work, because I ate on my first day off of work the week before. So my 4 days got a little rotated around, and then I wasn't prepared with my shopping list and everything. And anyways, guys, I did not eat good. I didn't eat the worst ever, but I just overeat. I just keep overeating. That is my problem. And I want to talk a little bit about NAC again down here. I'm just working through these issues, guys. I am not giving up. I made the thumbnail, my hands up, because I'm still fighting, and I'm going to drive on to victory no matter what I have to overcome, no matter what challenges I face. I'm going to just keep getting up and keep fighting and keep fighting. So I'm day one on my fast. I did not do well these last few days of eating. So just looking forward, from what am I learning from this, is just I need to figure out, just not even the diet. I actually know exactly what to eat. That is no problem at all. It's the volume of food, and I know what volume of food to eat. I know, like, a specific, not necessarily a caloric intake, but whatever your body needs, minimally needs. That's what you need to eat, not what you want, what you need. So, so let me just keep on going with my notes here. I was at work today. It's a Saturday. It's a easier day at work, and I was feeling pretty tired, like, from just yesterday was just a complete waste of a day. I just didn't do anything. I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a couple snacks. I mean, I ate eggs and salad and burger patties, and I came into possession of some peanut butter again, and I keep eating out of this jar of peanut butter, which I found another jar in my cupboards like a week ago, and it has not served me well. I threw the last one out. I need to hurry up and throw this one out. But not terrible food, just too much, just too many eggs, too much meat, too big of a salad, just all of it. It was all good food, just the volume was not a healthy volume. And I keep thinking about this, guys. I'm discovering this process along the way. I didn't have all the answers when I started this channel. I started it for that reason, for, people that don't have all the answers and want to keep fighting, keep getting up. And that's the number one thing I want to keep saying. I think I brought it up in the very, very, very beginning, a few months back. It's just, we have to agree to never give up, and then we'll win. So let's get back onto some positive tips. So this morning was my first day back to work after a few days off. I worked just a little bit on my 4 off on the first day. So really, I had almost 4 days off. So my morning routine this morning. So it's really coming together, and I'm happy about that. So my alarm went off. I have no snooze anymore. It's just the alarm goes off at 5:30 and you get up. And really, I wouldn't need to get up until about 10 or 15 or 20 minutes later, and I could just hustle and leave. But I don't want to do that. I want to have my routine. So 5:30 alarm goes off. And I was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I wasn't quite out of bed. It took me about 7 seconds. So I was a little like, okay, we'll work on that. We're gonna spring to action. I think I forgot to smile right away, and that's what gave me a little bit of a lag, because I didn't feel those muscles just light my face up with a smile. So I got out of bed. First thing I did was drink my water, just to chug out of the gallon. And I stretched out. I just like touched my toes and kind of twisted my hips around and just stretched a little. And then I went and did the bathroom routine, 5 minutes, whatever in there. Take care of the bathroom usage, and brush my teeth, and I use mouthwash, and I use my peroxide. And I came back out, and I stretched out a little more, or a lot more. I kind of created a little more space for myself, moved my chair out of the way, stretched out a little more, downward dog and some cobra, and stretched out significantly more for a couple minutes. Then I made my bed, drank a little more water in between while I was stretching. And I was trying to like put it together, because I'm not like reading off of a list. I'm like, let's just get this morning routine down. And it made me think I don't make my tea at home. And so I was thinking to tell people, like, okay, if you get up and this is when you'd make your coffee, and I drink black tea, but I drink it at work. Once I get to my office, I have a hot water dispenser, and it's blazing hot. It works great to make tea. So I was going through my routine, made my bed, and it's just rough cut made, just sheet, under blanket, quilt, or a comforter, tuck it all around. It's just a little twin bed, a little like a little bigger than a twin bed, but it's a twin bed, a couple pillows on there. It's easy. And then I actually sat back down on my chair, took some deep breaths, and was praying a little, just kind of even run through the Lord's Prayer, but also just kind of meditating about what I've read in the Bible lately, which I'm still plugging away through Genesis. I'm past, where am I at in Genesis? They're running around. Jacob and Esau went through that story where Jacob got the blessing and Esau got the second blessing. Probably 5 chapters. I don't know. I'm probably around chapter 40 or 45 or so. I think there's 50 chapters in Genesis, so I'm getting close to the end of that. And then once I get through Genesis, I'm going to read a different Audible book, and then I'm going to go back and read Exodus, and then so I'm going to go back and forth like that. So I sat back down, meditated a little bit, and I started contemplating, okay, like, what are you doing today? So it was like, put in a good day's work. And then I thought about, okay, I got to hit the gym after work. And I was like, oh, wait, it's a Saturday. It's a good day to work out at work. I mean, I could work out at work any day, but it's just less busy. On the weekends, there's less people there. So the gym is more likely to be, it's a small gym. So any more 3 people in there, and it's a little too full. 3 people can do it, but I prefer to be in there by myself. So I don't really take a first break. I just work until all my work's done. And then it was about noon, 11:30. I think it was about noon, a little after noon maybe. And I got a really good workout. I did like sprints, like maybe 200-meter sprints, a little less, like 0.1 mile. I don't even know what that would be, 150-meter sprint, whatever. But pretty good pace for me, between 7 and 8 miles an hour. And then I walked a 1/10 of a mile. So first I walked a 1/10 of a mile. Then I sprinted a 1/10 of a mile, or let's say run. Then I ran a 1/10 of a mile. And I did that back and forth till like 1.2 miles or something like that, to where I did the sprinting like 6 times. So that felt great. I was all warmed up. Heart rate wasn't overboard high or anything. It was, I don't know if I'd call it a hit workout. It was maybe not quite hard enough to get a hit workout in, but it was close. I mean, my heart rate was up there. Actually, yeah, for it's just that I'm getting in better shape to where it didn't feel as hard of a workout, but actually my heart rate was over 140. And then I was getting it down to like 90 or a little under 90, and then 140, and then 88, and then 140. So it felt great. And then pumped hard chest and tries, 4 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, and then a couple burnout sets with some lighter weights, just on some like close grip bench press, so you're really just cooking them triceps at the end. So it wasn't the hardest workout of all time, but it was a good workout, especially for my first day back at work. Usually get a little less sleep the night before, which I did. I fell asleep a little later last night, so a little tired. Oh, just saying tired makes you yawn. So I got to figure out this diet, right? These shortfalls and I got to shore up that decision-making process with my diet. So if you look at this whole plan, I mean, I easily could have lost way more than the 50 pounds that I had, kind of 52 pounds, which I had put 218 as the goal. And we'll get there. It won't be long because I'm figuring it all out. We're getting there, guys. So I was 238 again on that last day of 96-hour fast, but then I ate way worse for the 3.5 days of eating. So on the end of this 4 days of work week, I'm only going to get 1 day off, and then I'm going to work 2 days, and then I'm going to get 1 day off. So I'm going to say it again. I'm a little nervous to even say it again because I did better when I wasn't saying it, but I'm saying it again anyway because I want people to know what I'm attempting to do, and then if I can succeed or not. But I'm going to attempt to fast until April 1st. So it's only 8 days. I fasted 8 days and longer quite a few times to where I know I can do it. And I even did more physical jobs. I might not be able to burn it up at the gym those last few days, but I should be able to get through. So the first 4 days will be no problem. Then it'll be a day off, and then 2 days of working while haven't eaten for 6 days. Might be a little tough, but then to finish it off, I'll get a day off. And then at the end of that last day off of work will be when I weigh in, because you want the weights to be at the same time of day. All the weights that I've weighed in have always been in the evening weight. And it's more accurate to have a morning weight, but I can't remember how it ended up being like that, but that's just how it was. So I'm still reading about and learning about the health benefits and the weight loss mechanism of the Atkins diet. Angel's back, looking fit. Thank you so much. I'm glad you brought that up, Angel, because I have a buddy of mine at work. I have some non-scale victories. I really haven't lost much weight. 238, 239, 242, 245. I mean, you go back like a month and a half and I'm only 7 pounds down. But I'm pumping iron at 50 years old like I haven't done since my 30s. Like early 30s, and I'm running. So every time I start running, especially, so I'm doing sprints once a week, I'm doing like a medium run once a week, and I'm doing my long run once a week, which they're going to be different for everybody. Sometimes when I'm fit and trained up, my long run is 14 miles. Right now, my long run is 3 miles. My intermittent run used to be 6-8 miles. Now my intermittent run is like 1 mile. So anyway, I'm gaining a lot of muscle. And anyway, a guy was gone for a couple of weeks. He went on vacation in Florida, and I just saw him today for the first time. I walked around the corner straight out of the shower, had my towel on anyway, looking all gunned out, and still have the big beer belly. But the first thing he said is, "Wow, looks like you've lost weight in the last couple of weeks." And I haven't lost pounds, but I have lost some body fat, I believe. So let's just stay positive about that. But so back on the the only part that I am tripping up on is the days I'm eating, I overeat. And it I don't know what made me think of it today, but it's one of Anthony Robbins' books. Oh, I don't even actually have a hard copy of this book. I have it on Audible. What book is it? Awaken the Giant Within. It's either Awaken the Giant Within or Giant Steps. It's one of those books. He has he's got so many books, but it's called NAC, Neuro Associative Conditioning. And it's just the pursuit. There's two things we do in life. Everything you do is to achieve one of these two things: achieve pleasure or avoid pain. So how is it so easy that I can go 4 days without eating, but then when I go to eat one meal, I have a hard time limiting that meal to, a healthy amount of food? And it's like, well, this is why, because I'm having a negative neuro association with the amount of food I'm eating. And well, Zach, how can you fast then? If you can go 4 days without eating, you should be able to eat a small healthy meal, no problem. Well, it's my association with fasting is so positive that in my psyche, I know fasting is curing my diabetes, wiping out my blood sugar, making me have a nice healthy A1C that we're going to test on April 1st. Preventing many diseases, including cancer, that my brother and my mother died from. So when I'm fasting, I feel like I am doing the best thing I can do for my body. So my neuroassociative conditioning is that fasting is good. It's pleasurable. It's rewarding. It's achieving the goal. It's the top of the mountain. It's climbing to get there. Okay, so then I don't have that with small meals. I did the small meals for I guess I only did it for 2 4-day, I think maybe 3 4-day eating windows back around started the end of January and went into the middle of February. And I was able to do it, but it was not, I was only able to do it because it's like, okay, Zach, you're going to eat this 400-calorie meal. And as soon as I ate it, I wanted to eat more. But I was telling myself, well, you're going to eat more later. So really, I was associating that I want to eat more. I was just delaying it and putting it off. So where I need to get, and I think this neuroassociative conditioning is going to help me get there. It helped me quit drinking. If you go way back and watch all my videos in the very beginning, before I even started the fasting and everything, I talked about this NAC and how I used it to quit drinking alcohol after I got diabetes on January 23rd, 2016. I told myself that, like opening a beer and smelling it, it just smells like vomit. And drinking it is just like drinking vomit. And it stinks and it's disgusting and you feel terrible. And I didn't drink a drop for like 9 months. And then even over the course of like 2 years, I barely had any until my diabetes was so gone that then I started reintroducing it a little bit and I gained the weight back. But anyway, it worked when I focused on, okay, so I need to figure out how to do this with my small meal. Not don't overeat, because overeating is like what you're not going to do. So I have to focus on what you are going to do, and I need to associate it with something great. So learning about what protein, carbohydrates, and fat. These are your 3 macronutrients. This is what your body burns for fuel. Although protein, it really doesn't consume protein. When you eat protein, your body's not trying to burn it for fuel. When you eat carbs and sugar and even complex carbs, your body is trying to burn that for fuel. It's like it's all it can do with it. It can't use it to build muscle. Same thing with fat. It's just another fuel source. Like those are gas. Protein is actual building blocks of your body, and water is a lot of your body too. But the amino acids are actually the flesh of your body. It creates cells, and like your stem cells. It's like you just destroyed some muscle cells, and your stem cells say, okay, you need muscle cells. It turns that stem cell into a protein, and it's very complex. I don't know the whole scientific mechanism that goes through it, but my point is, if I can associate this small meal with, okay, I need only this much protein. Like I said, when I eat eggs, like yesterday, I'm just going to be honest. I got up, I let a little time go by. I went through my morning routine and I cleaned up, and I didn't eat right away because I was like, there's no hurry to just start eating. So I chugged some water and tried to stay hydrated. But it was like 8:30. I woke up real early. It was like, I woke up at like 4 in the morning. I fell asleep so early. So I waited, I didn't want to eat at 4 or 5 in the morning. So I waited till like 8:30 or something. And I chopped up some mushrooms, chopped up some like whole fresh mushrooms, and chopped up some onion, and threw them in the pan with some olive oil and a little butter, and I'm sauteing them. And I grabbed the eggs out of the fridge, and there was 8 eggs left. And I knew it was my last day to eat, but it was only breakfast. So I was like, well, I'll put 4 of them in here, and then I'll have 4 eggs. Maybe I'll eat them later. I had a steak in the freezer. I was like, maybe I'll have steak in it. And I was like, nah, let me just have 6 of them, and then I'll just make 2 fried eggs later with a hamburger patty or something. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. With just a hamburger patty, salt and pepper with an egg on top, all runny. I was like, you know what? Let me just get rid of them. I just ended up having 8 scrambled eggs with, and it's not even a ton of calories. You add it all up, either 60 or 70 calories per egg. But it's just overeating. You don't need that much protein, like not even close. I mean, your body's, like I said, I'm already too much protein, like 22%, when I want to be less than 20. Like even 17, 18% would be a good amount. So how could you need much more protein than that in your diet if your body isn't even that much protein? So that's where you get these extra amino acids, and then it can turn it into called glyconeogenesis, where it can turn it into sugars and actually end up being stored as fat. But that process doesn't normally happen. If you're eating carbs and you're eating fat, it will not do that with the protein. So it is almost safe to say that the calories in the protein you eat don't really count as calories, because your body, calorie is like, what does it take to burn it? And your body doesn't burn protein. Like, it doesn't burn it up for fuel. It converts it to the amino acids, builds your body with it, and the extra amino acids in your bloodstream, if you have fuel in your body, which if you're eating carbs and fat, you do, or if you are fat, you do. And then, so you would just urinate out the extra amino acids. So anyway, guys, that's a long story. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but I'm talking about the NAC. I'm trying to figure out, as I talk, as the day goes, how can I associate, not how can I just have to, I'm going to associate. I don't know if I want to put small meal, because it's not a small meal. It's let's put it's a healthy meal. And to me, historically, my mind, I know it's going to be less than what I have. It's not going to be, a healthy meal is not going to be the 8 scrambled eggs. It's going to be 1, maybe 2 for how big I am. But and then I wasn't prepared to eat, so that was kind of my fault. And I made a mistake there to not really prep up, thinking I would be able to fast all the extra days, and I just wasn't. As soon as 96 hours hit, I was like, I got to eat. I'm so hungry. And it was more of a mental, it was more of a mental game, because I've fasted 13, 14 days with water only. And I've fasted 24 days, up to 24 days with juice and vegetable broth, which is very close to fat. It's so little calories, like a few hundred a day is almost exactly the same as fasting. I was still, a lot of discipline to get there. So with the drinking, I used a negative neuro association and had like a negative feedback loop. I thought, if you open that beer, it stinks. It tastes like vomit. You'll vomit. I'm just going to be honest, guys. I would think about like dog feces and vomit and every nastiest thing you could think of. There's things I don't want to say that are even grosser, right? Like the grossest things you could have on your body or in your mouth or on your face. Like, think of all the grossest things. And that's what overeating has to be. That's what I thought of beer, because I was a big beer drinker. And then I was a whiskey drinker. And then I went back to beer drinker. And at the time I got diabetes, though, I was more of just a light beer drinker. Not a light drinker, a light beer. Heavy light beer drinker. And I just associated it with the grossest things in the world. And it was pretty easy to quit doing it. Plus, I had just got diabetes, and it was like, I have to save myself. I have to change my health, and I have to change my life and lose weight. And, I lost tons of weight, just less time than this. I've been going on this since December 20th, and I'm like 32 pounds down, 38, 48, 58, 60. Yeah, 32 pounds down, which I'm not even now. If I weighed in right now, I'm probably only like 30 pounds down. But, or not even, I'm probably only like 25 pounds down. Because when I'm eating, after 4 days of eating, it goes up, and then after 4 days of fasting. So I am kind of want to just push hard till April 1st and keep lifting weights and keep running. And the weight, I'm just going to, record the weight on April 1st and say, okay, that's the results we got from 13 rounds of 96-hour fasting. We'll do the A1C test. That'll be way better than it was like a year and a half ago when I checked it last. But I can always tell what it's going to be just based on how much I weigh and what I've been doing for physical activity, and if I've been fasting. Like all these 96-hour fasts are completely burning up all the sugar in my body for several days. It's probably all burnt up by your body starts burning a higher amount of fat even 12 hours after you haven't eaten. Within 24 hours, you have a lot of your glycogen storage capacity is wiped out already, because even my basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories you burn to just lay around and do nothing, is like 2,200 a day. And depending on what you can store, which just based on my ketosis strips tests, I think my body has a pretty high glycogen storage capacity. For example, like running a half marathon, like the last one I ran, I wasn't even tired or fatigued and breathing heavy or nothing at the end. I crossed the finish line and just went and got some water and walked around, and I was fine. I wasn't like buckling knees or tired or anything. And also I say it because when I take the keto strips, when I test my urine, like the last 4-day fast, I never tested positive for ketones. So, that kind of shows how much I've been overeating. You should be testing positive for ketones 48 to 72 hours. When I was doing in 2016, when I lost the more weight, I was doing very similar to this, where I would fast for 3 days and then I would eat 5 meals: Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I would just eat 5 dinners and then fast from Sunday night to Wednesday night. So 70, and only like not very many weeks of that, and I lost more weight than this. And I would test positive for ketones in my urine. Not that my body's not making ketones, it's definitely making ketones, but I'm burning them all up because your body can use ketones for fuel. It's one of the other ways it can, because your brain needs either sugar, carbohydrates, or ketones. Your brain can't burn fat, and it can't use protein for glyconeogenesis. It has to use carbs or ketones. So anyway, the amount of ketones my body's making, it's using them all and not urinating any of them out. So when you're urinating them out, then you really know you're in a deep fat burning zone. So I always it was one of the exciting things I would do every time I fasted for my 3 days. I would test my urine, even when I knew it wasn't going to be positive. So it's like 24 hours in, I test it. Oh, nope, not burning fat yet. 48 hours in, maybe it'd be like just start to show that there's a little bit of ketones in my urine. And then by the end of the 3rd day, I would test it. And it was like a yellowish to a pink to a purple to like a dark purple. And it would just be dark purple. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm just killing the ketones. And that means I'm burning tons of fat. And you want that to be a positive thing. You want to look at, so these actions. So, okay, I have to use the neuroassociative conditioning, and I need to condition my behavior, because one of the worst habits, the worst habit I have right now, is overeating. I'll even make a healthy meal, like I said, like scrambled eggs with mushrooms and onions, and I put some hot sauce. it's totally healthy. It was just too much. And the same thing, I said I was going to cut my salads in half, and it's like I started with a little less lettuce, but then by the time I chopped everything, this is yesterday, by the time I put everything in the bowl, I should post a picture. Oh, this is live. I can't edit this. It's just a huge salad, just the same size as always. It just had less lettuce. It had more onions and peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers and everything else. Which if I'm gonna eat a bad meal, it's too big of a salad, because I still did my olive oil and apple cider vinegar and spicy brown mustard dressing, which I love. It's so good, guys. It is so good. 0 carbs. The apple cider vinegar alone, get on earthclinic.com and just look up all the natural remedies for everything out there. And apple cider vinegar with the mother. So Bragg's is a good one. And so that's like a natural cure for tons of shit, including gout. If you have gout, take apple cider vinegar in your water. And if you have acid reflux, these are things I've known. I've never had gout, but I drink apple cider vinegar a lot. So that controls your uric acid, which is how you get gout, with too much uric acid in your blood. And that will wipe that out. And also the peroxide, the H2O2 is one of the natural remedies on Earth Clinic, just big time. So going by my past successes, the beer, I just had a very negative association with. And I've explained how I did that, how I got it to be so negative in my mind. Okay, so I'm just gonna make some notes here and write them out and read them and look at them and concentrate them. And I'm gonna try to fall asleep tonight. It's 8:30, and just be concentrating on the disgusting, gross habit of overeating. It's bad enough to overeat junk food, but Zach, you're not even eating junk food. You're overeating healthy food. You're already on the right path, and then you're just making the path a little too wide. What is the saying? The path to hell is the trail, the path to hell or to the doing wrong is wide. It's like the path to righteousness is a narrow one. The road less traveled is less traveled for a reason. So pursuing pleasure, avoiding pain. So I know why I overeat. Then this is what popped in my head today. This morning I actually brought a different notebook to work, and I was taking some notes on my break for this episode, and it popped in my head. It's because I'm associating eating with pleasure. And it's like, yes, I can't deny that. I mean, eating, some people eat just to survive, and they don't even hardly enjoy eating. And I don't know how your forefathers could have survived that way. The ability to store body fat, especially like my ancestors are from Europe, mostly Germany, cold winters and harsh conditions. And, it would be a survival mechanism to be able to fatten up on, well, just like a bear does, eat a bunch of berries in the fall and get all this body fat and then basically just crash out all winter. I mean, humans can basically do that too. They just don't sleep the whole time. They can get up and drink water, and you can go a whole winter without eating if you got enough body fat on you. So it's a survival mechanism meant for positive, but in today's modern times. So maybe I need to associate like, hey, you're not a caveman. It's 2023. Let's write that down. I wrote down beer and negative, and then I'm going to write overeating. Just so I have the negative portion of it. At first, I didn't even want to, but it worked with the beer. I focused on how nasty it was. So I have to focus on how nasty and gross it is. And maybe I can help because I care about this channel. I care about this community. I care about you people out there. I want you to not necessarily learn from my victories as much as learn from my failures and learn that it's not that big a deal to fail. It is. Oh, I should look up more failure quotes. There's so many great ones out there, but it's like, it's the road to victory. Failing is the way to victory. The obstacle is the way. Falling down is the only way you can get up. You have to learn. And, yes, it'd be great if we could just read a book and do exactly what it says from the second you read it, and the Atkins book would be a great one. But it has, the book itself even has chapter 21 is the psychology of weight loss, and it's like you're gonna break, you're gonna have a moment of weakness, you're gonna want that quart of ice cream that I had again on my last 4 days off. I got to be up to like 4 or 5 times I had ice cream this year. It's doubly the amount of beer. I think I talked about it on the channel too much, so I got to quit talking about it. If I'm gonna talk about overeating from now on, I talk about bad eating, I'm gonna say like, yeah, too many eggs and too many salads. Because then if I do overeat or have a bad day, it'll be too many eggs and too many salads, not junk food. So beer is gross, negative, bad for my blood sugar, bad for my diabetes. Bad, like you have a hangover. I mean, read why you have a hangover. It's the poison in your body. You're dehydrated as can be. Your blood sugar is messed up for like 72 hours every time you drink. So if you drink even once every 3 days, your blood sugar is never regulated correctly. I don't know how people do it. I mean, I don't know how people drink every day and don't get morbidly obese, because I got so obese from drinking every day. But then I also ate. It made me, it made me not care about what I ate, and I just ate like crazy. So even though I don't drink anymore, that old habit of overeating is crept its way back in. So, okay, that's the negative. So what's the positive? The healthy meal, which I think is a better term than a small meal, because it's not small. It's the amount of food we're supposed to eat. So I got to figure that out, though. I got to The Atkins book, once you're into like phase 3 or 4, it's towards the end. The Atkins book is actually very complete diet. It isn't just, oh, you just eat steak. It's a stupid diet. No, that's like for the first week or two. It has a whole, it's a lifelong diet. And it's called, towards the end, it's called critical CCLL, critical carbohydrate level for weight loss. It cuts that last few words just to loss. Critical carbohydrate level loss. So how many carbs can you eat and not lose weight or still lose weight? It's going to be a window of like 10 grams of carbs. It's going to be, depending on your physical activity level, it could be different from day to day. You went to the gym for an hour or you didn't, but it's going to be within your basal metabolic rate, your natural, and it's who you are. It's in your DNA. It's part of things that are out of your control. But how many carbohydrates you can eat a day? And of course, there's way healthier carbs and there's way unhealthier carbs. Yes. Oh, Angel brought it up again about the Trader Joe's, and I wrote a note and I looked it up, and they're all around me. They're not like right in my neighborhood close, but they're like within a 10-minute drive, or there's close ones around. I'm gonna write it down again, guys, because I'm planning on not eating until I weigh in on April 1st. But the last time I said that, I didn't make it I made it the 4th day again. So I'm not going to go overboard with it, but I really want to. And I'm just going to say that is my intentions. I think I know I can do it. So it's just a matter of, do I decide to stick with it? So I know Trader Joe's is awesome. Some people don't like Walmart, but I know Sam's Club actually. I don't even have a Sam's Club membership right now, but they have tons of like organic vegetables for way cheaper prices than like what do you call them, like food co-ops, because I just can't even afford to eat at or to shop at a food co-op. Everything's like triple, quadruple the price. But like Sam's Club and Trader Joe's has a bunch of great prices on the healthier meals. So anyway, I was talking to my, I'm going to call her my girlfriend because we've been talking for a few months. We haven't even met in person, but we're about to. In a few weeks, I'll be in the Philippines and falling in love, I bet. But I asked her how many eggs she has for breakfast because she's like, super skinny. And she said, because I told her I had 8 eggs for breakfast. And she says, no, you have 1. And I'm like, my God. I was like, 1 egg? Like, what? And I was like, what else? And she's like, well, maybe some steamed vegetables on the side. So that's going to be, after April 1st, I told her she's going to be able to tell me what to eat. So I'm going to hit Trader Joe's maybe on after work the day before or whatever. Oh, no, that'll be a day off. No, it won't. Maybe it will. Anyway, hit Trader Joe's and load up on some healthy food and healthy meal sizes. And I have to associate that healthy meal size with, and maybe, I'm not being able to just say because I know I'm going to lose weight that way. I know it's victorious. It has to be, I know that's going to help me achieve my goals. And that's part of the climbing the mountain to get to the top. But I need something more like this beer, like what I did with the beer, with the just bleh. Okay, so the healthy meal, healthy. I mean, it's part of the name of the channel. Healthy, wealthy, and happy. I have to associate it with joy. Even in the book, in the where I learned about NAC. I don't need my notes anymore. And it's either giant steps or okay. Let's see what Angel talking about. Zach, if you don't mind me asking, you plan on doing any content from the Philippines? That would be fun. Yeah. The Angel is asking, do I plan on posting videos from the Philippines? I really, really, really want to. But I kind of messed up, and I just brought a brand new phone. It's not the most up-to-date one, but it's like the S21. And it's locked for 6 months. So I won't be able to get the SIM card over there. I had planned on, and they got them right in the airport over there because international, I'm not going to have any service over there unless I'm on Wi-Fi. So if I'm at the airport or at the hotel, I should be able to get on. So I'll take some video when I'm out and about And we're going to be doing touristy stuff for the first week or for like the first 3-4 days, and the last 3-4 days I'm gonna be over there for like 16 days, and then in between it's going to be more out in the resorts, and I don't know what kind of more out in the sticks and on the beaches. And anyway, I'm gonna and be in the girl I'm going over there to see, the woman, she also has a YouTube channel, which is awesome. She's way, way, way better at it than I am. She has a small, just, it's just a little personal vlog channel like this one is, but she's monetized and just did it all with her phone. And it was kind of funny. We were talking for like a month before we discovered that we both had YouTube channels. And so, yeah, I want to, just the touristy stuff and record videos with her and and I want to eat all the street food over there and all the Filipino food, which a lot of it I already know I like. A lot of it I know I'm not gonna like, but we'll take some videos of me trying some exotic foods and checking out all the destinations over there. So I'll probably have a different playlist. It'll probably be like vacation playlist or something. Because I like to get around. I got divorced 12 years ago, and my kids are all growing up. I have 5 kids. 3 of them are adults now, and the last 2 are quickly approaching adulthood as well. And so I don't have them as much anymore, and I'm having a little more free time to travel and yeah, the commenter is just saying, "Hell yeah, thank you." So yeah, I'm gonna try to post I wanna post tons of content from over there, with her and I together, and just all the exciting things to do over there. I'm going to Cebu City. If you wanna YouTube that, you could look up like tourist areas in Cebu City. I want to go to this Taoist temple, which is really close to where she lives anyway, and there's which is a Taoist temple, obviously, and then there's the Temple of Leah, which is I think that one's an old Catholic temple, and then there's all kinds of waterfalls, and the really crazy thing I want to do is I want to go swim with these whale sharks, whale sharks. They're super docile. They don't eat you or nothing, and they're just chilling right off the coast of under this one resort I'm going to. It's right by them. And the woman I'm going with, she can't swim. She doesn't want to go in the water at all. But these guides will take you. They'll take you out in a little dinghy, and they'll be like, "All right, there's a whale right there. Jump in." And then you'll snorkel down a little bit, and then they'll take pictures with the whale right behind you. I think it'd be so sweet to have like one of my thumbnails for my vacation. Got a damn 50-foot long whale behind me or whatever. They're huge. They're huge. So that should be tons of fun. So let me get back on to the neuroassociative conditioning, because I really believe this is, and if I have to, and I'm thinking about calling a counselor, a therapist, some type of assistance, maybe not just with my diet, but that's just, it's all in your head. Your head is what needs to be fixed. And so maybe I need to, maybe there's some things, and, I know I have unresolved childhood issues, just massive childhood trauma. Nothing. I'm not trying to play the victim or nothing. It's very common. People don't even know. They're not even aware of the trauma they went through. Like I said, I went to write some self-authoring from Jordan Peterson. I went to write some of my childhood out, and I had some flashbacks and immediately started bawling, and I couldn't finish it, and I haven't went back to it. And it was like 2 years ago. I was like, nope, not ready to flood those gates, I guess. But there's things in your psyche and your subconscious that are affecting your life in a negative way. They're affecting your relationships, with your family and friends and loved ones and significant others, and your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your children. And it has to do with those same type of relationships from when you were very little, and you learn different survival techniques and mechanisms. And maybe along the way, just as I'm talking, it's making me realize, maybe somewhere along the way, I learned to eat to feel better. And as I say it, as the words come out of my mouth, it sounds like the most obvious thing I've ever said, because it is what I do. It's not just it's not even a survival mechanism at all. Like I never think like, oh man, if I don't eat 8 scrambled eggs, I'm going to just die. Now I know I can eat nothing for a month and be healthier at the end and not be, so I don't really have an association with eating with survival. It's almost purely for joy, for pleasure, the pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. So thankfully, I don't associate fasting with pain. I associate fasting with pleasure also, which is such a weird catch 22 for me to figure out, because it's like not eating is bliss and eating is bliss. Um, okay, what do I do with that? So I'm gonna figure it out though. The healthy meal. And okay, I started to say it, but then I got sidetracked. So Anthony Robbins in the book, when he's talking about the neuroassociative conditioning, because he wasn't like morbidly overweight, but he's a big dude. He has a pituitary gland disorder, so he's super tall, and he had, let's just say, 40 pounds overweight. I can't remember. He wasn't like 150 pounds overweight or nothing like I was. And he actually bought, and I brought it up, but I haven't really incorporated it yet, because smaller plates and smaller bowls and smaller serving dishes for whatever you're going to eat. And so he talked about that, like you get a big plate and you just end up filling it up, or you get like when I make my salad, I make it in the same bowl. So it's like, what are you doing? Make it in a bowl that's half the size, and you can't make it the same size. So that's something obvious that, okay, I'm even going to write that down too, like smaller serving dishes. I don't even want to use the word smaller, because I don't want to associate it with I'm getting less. Like, I want to associate it with I'm getting a healthier portion, not a less portion. So serving sizes need to be figured out. And that part of that can be the serving dish itself. But also something he talked about a lot, and I have friends that do this, and it's always driven me nuts. And my son does it too, but he doesn't really do it consciously. He just does it because when he's full, he quits eating. But let's say you're eating. I have a friend that no matter what he's eating, if there's a bite left, he's done. If he's eating a bag of chips and there's 3 left, he's done. If he's eating spaghetti and there's 10 little swirls left, he's done. Like, he leaves that. And Anthony Robbins talked about it when you have this healthier size portion on your plate, and you're just intentionally not finishing it, or you're sensing that you're full. This is what my 19-year-old son does. If he's eating something and he's full, he just stops. There's no desire to. He's not eating to out of pleasure. You got to eat to live, and then I'm alive, and why would I want to eat more when I'm full? You're just gonna feel worse. And that brings up another one too. I should make the note, like, you feel when you are tired. It's not, what do they call it? Tryptophan in the turkey that makes you tired for Thanksgiving. It's really has nothing to do. There's such a small amount that would never make you tired. The volume of it is just not even enough to even close to have the crashing effect that why you get tired at Thanksgiving? Because you're eating so much and your body's just, it's so unhealthy. When you feel tired after you eat, that's a big sign that you didn't eat a healthy amount of food. You ate a terrible amount of food. And there's another guy, I'm going to just say his name. People hate on him, and I get why, but he's just hard ass, badass. He's a smaller fitness trainer dude. I think his name is Cole Robinson, and people hate him. So if you don't like him when you go to the channel, don't judge me. He uses the word, hey fatty, and he yells in all of his videos, and I could see where he'd be a big turnout for a lot of people. But what he does, he gives a lot of great advice though, especially to a hard learning, hard head like me, where he'll just, fasting. He talks about fasting all the time. He knows it works. He talks about like OMAD and intermittent fasting. He made a whole month-long video where he pigged out on like $50-$60 worth of McDonald's every day, but all in one meal in 1 hour, and then fasted for 24 hours. And a month later, he weighed less. His blood pressure was down. His cholesterol was down. His body fat was down. He was healthier. And he showed, and he was just proving, yeah, McDonald's is terrible for you. So what if he would have ate a healthy meal instead of McDonald's every day? And it was only a month. And he actually, he only lost like 10 pounds, but he was eating enough weight where he could have gained 40. But the fact that your body just can't absorb all them calories at once anyway. So, I mean, if you could absorb all them calories, then every time you watch a hot dog eating contest, a dude eats like 70 hot dogs with the bun, they should gain, 15 pounds of fat, and they don't. They don't gain any weight. So Anthony Robbins talks about the smaller meals, the smaller plates, the joy, the pleasure. So I have to associate it with pleasure. He said he realized he was on the right track when he pushed the plate away, and it was pleasure. It was like, yes, I did something. I didn't need to overindulge. And it's making me, I was thinking about when I finished Genesis, I said, I'm going to go back to reading another Audible book. Um, to go back and read the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius again, because it talks a lot about in that book of not indulging in anything, in the philosophy and how to, and it's controlling your emotions, controlling your mind, being in control of these things that just don't bring joy. It brings me back to the Bible verse, like, money is the root of all evil, which while some covet after, like, you're coveting something that's destroying you, and they have erred from the faith. It's just making me realize how important this is, guys, to overcome this obstacle of, it's pleasure seeking. And it's, what book was it in? Oh, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Towards the end, it has, you kind of like, here's a list of your problems and what to do with each one. And when I read the book, I didn't really pick up on it, but as I thought about it and meditated on what I had learned over the course of that book and a couple books after that, including Atomic Habits, which I love, and the Bible, which I really, really, really love reading, I realized, yes, pleasure seeking is my attitude, with sex, with drugs, with alcohol, with food, with relationships, with, different relationships, even with it's always all or nothing. It's always overdo it, and I know other people like that probably haven't identified it in themselves either. But I'm finally recognizing it as the weakness that it is in myself, or at least something that I've identified as something that I can work on. And you can't control something you're not even aware of, right? So um it's kind of like the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous. Step one, admitting we are powerless over alcohol, and that only a power greater than ourselves could save us. That's the step one, and without that step, you're not getting anywhere. So maybe I just need to realize that I myself am powerless over the enemy without Christ. And I was meditating today, just thinking about the Bible and what I had read recently, and God and Jesus and my salvation, and just repenting of my sins and thanking Jesus for his sacrifice on the cross. And it made me think about some of my past relationships that I was in, not necessarily Christian women, and really wanting to save them and wanting them to find God and find, so that they can quit drinking and quit doing drugs. And it just made me think of something. It's like, you have to face your demons alone. And it's like, well, your friends could help. It's like, really? If you need that much help, it's because you're not ready. It's because you can't admit that you're powerless over alcohol. You're powerless over drugs. You have to face some demons alone, except for one. The one help you have is Jesus Christ. When you're ready to accept Jesus Christ as your one and only Savior, the only thing that can save you, then you're probably not going to be able to defeat those demons anyway. And that's why I have to understand that if this person is not willing to accept Jesus Christ into their life, what makes you think they're going to accept my help? I'm nobody. I'm worse than they are, and I'm trying to help them, and they don't want my help. They don't want to help themselves. And so it's helped me move on, is the story, the point of that short story. So now I'm realizing, okay, this is your only hope. Jesus is your only hope. It's your only salvation. It's the only way to get to accomplish the name of the channel, to be healthy, to be wealthy, to not love money. You will, and I have some really better money verses, but I wanted to use this one today because I got some really good ones coming up for tomorrow or the next day. And my girlfriend said I have to make a video every day, so My days off work, I'm probably just going to go live like this. So there will be no intro and there'll be no cutscenes and be no clips or videos or like shares and nothing. Just go on, go off. This is easier and quicker. I've been on for how long have I been on? For almost an hour. It would have taken me over an hour just to edit the video. So, then it would have been another hour. And then it takes 2 or 3 hours to upload it. And I'd have been sleeping by the time the video even got uploaded. So I like to get on here, and then plus I can talk with the subscribers on the live feed, which I really enjoy. Angel's been around a bunch of times, and I was thinking about some of my other buddies that were on earlier on in the series, maybe like, my God, you guys, I was going to say 20 or 30 episodes ago, but it's probably more like 50 or 60 episodes ago, because we're already on episode 96, but I also have videos on other playlists. So we're actually over 100 videos already, guys. And speaking of that, we're up to we're going to be pushing like 5,000 subscribers within the next couple of weeks. I think we're at like 40, over 45, 4,600, something like that. So, and a lot of it is from advertising. So, it's not all organic. I'm trying to reel them in. We got to watch all these videos over and over though, guys. I have so many watch hours to catch up with. So neuroassociative conditioning, overeating bad, healthy eating good, fasting good, drinking water, drinking tea. It's the same stuff I've been talking about. It's just the psychological battle is still going on. And maybe that's some more I need to find more Bible verses about. It just reminds me the one verse, is it in Hebrews? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places. And what's the other one? Oh, I used to have this really awesome verse memorized for the same exact situation, but I can't think of it right now. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. And guys, that verse is exactly what I'm talking about. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. So you have a stronghold. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that is exalted against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought. So it's in reverse order. Stronghold, imagination, and thought. And this is how the enemy gets to you. So it starts as just a thought. And then when you can't get rid of that negative thought, it becomes a stronghold in your mind. And then you're completely possessed by the devil down here at the end there. So anyway, I got to go write that verse down so I can explain it better. I can explain it better to you guys. And it's a great one. It's a great one for the psychological warfare that we're in. So guys, please stick with me. Welcome to the new subscribers. Please comment more, guys, comment on all the videos. Go back and like them, share them. So I got a couple videos here and there that just have way more views than the others, and it's just because of a corny thumbnail, or just more people liked it and it made it, even some of them it'll spike, like this video in the next 24 hours, it'll get a bunch of views and then it'll just be flat. And then sometimes it'll be like a week later, all of a sudden it'll get about the same amount of views as it did the first time. And it's just because it got snowballed. People started hitting like, and it's just how the YouTube algorithms work. And I don't even know totally how they work, but I know I need a lot of watch hours. And I can't watch my own videos, even though I do once in a while, but it doesn't count anyway. It knows when you're watching. It's like Santa Claus, man. It knows when you're watching. I just noticed I can comment down here and write in my own feed too, but I don't know why I would do that when I can just talk and answer the question. So, guys, hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be the first one to see all my live streams and my uploads and see where Zach Attack is at. Zach is attacking the fast today. Tomorrow will be 48 hours, then 72. What's so Saturday, Sunday, Monday? So Tuesday is 96 hours. Then Wednesday I have off. I'm gonna fast. Thursday, Friday I work only 8 hours, so it'll be an easy day at work, which will help me get up and get going without eating, because I'll burn up 8 hours of the day. And by that time I'll be so tired I probably won't be working out by then, because I'll start losing my energy. But maybe not. I'll try to do some working out. and then hopefully just come home and go to bed. And then I'll have my last day off. I'll be, when's it to be, like next Saturday will be my last day off. My first day of work will be Sunday, which is like April 1st. And then we'll weigh in that day. So no matter where we are, it's gonna be good. What matters is how you're looking, how you're feeling, what are you changing your behavior, which was changing your habits, which is changing your future. I want to be way, way, way thinner than this, but I do love myself like this too. I was in the gym. I've been in the gym killing it, you guys. I mean, I am working very hard. I'm like getting those last reps in and getting that last, 10, 20 seconds of the sprint in. And I'm really feeling good in the gym, guys. I'm really putting the effort in hard. And when I start eating again, whether it's after 4 days from now or 8 days from now, I really want to go 8 days. So we'll see. I have to focus on those healthy meals and maybe steer away. We'll see, but maybe I don't even need to think about eating. Maybe I need to be thinking about something else. And eating is just, oh, I need to live. And then you go eat like a little handful of food. One of the things Cole Robinson says, the amount of food you eat, you should be able to like take off running after, like 100-yard dash. And it's like, if you can't, it's because you ate too much. And he's like, it's like this, and you're done eating, so it's kind of a hand and mouth existence, like our forefathers survived like that. Once they started farming and you could sit around the whole year and grow a bunch of grain, and those are the people that started gaining a lot of weight. All right, we just went over an hour. So you know what I'm going to do, guys? It's the end of the episode, and Jesus never ends. This episode may end, this world may end, this earth age may end, but the word of God will never die. So jump on board with Jesus because he loves you. I love you guys, and I will catch you again in the next episode.